Portable TV. Come watch with me.
See about that if that summit goes forward. Anyway, so tensions, obviously between the U.S. and Russia are high, maybe at an all-time high. But these tensions haven't been just relegated to the realm of high politics. We're seeing this on the ground too, or more accurately, in the skies. Once again, take a look at this video. So this is a Russian MiG-31 fighter jet escorting a U.S. strategic reconnaissance plane. That's the U.S. plane that the jet is coming up on, commonly called a spy plane. It's escorting it along the far eastern coast of Russia, but reports have said that the U.S. reconnaissance jet wasn't flying in Russian airspace. So what's the deal with that? Here to break it down for us is John Jordan. He's a former naval intelligence officer. John, great to have you on. I love talking to you about these things, man, because you really are good with what we're seeing here. So is this just kind of business as usual? You know, often it's like every month we kind of see this happening. Is this just another case of that? Or is it something a little more strategic based on kind of the overall political situation that we're seeing? What's your take?
Well, what you just showed there, John, was an RC-135. That is a converted Boeing 707 airliner, converted to what's called electronic intelligence gathering. And what it does is it picks up all manner of transmissions of the electromagnetic spectrum, captures them, tapes them for processing later. Now, the U.S. Air Force has run these types of missions up and down the Kamchatka Peninsula there for decades. And looking back to the time when we were both kids, that's about the same, very close to the same place where the KAL-007 airliner was shot down in the early 80s. Now, the Russians do come up frequently, just scramble fighters to intercept and just say hello, as it were. But these flights are very routine. But the intercepts are getting a lot more publicity now. And this is why it's kind of dangerous, because of the growing hostility between the U.S. and Russia, and a hostility which I regard as completely unnecessary because of America's four principal adversaries right now: China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. Russia is the only one that is a Christian country that is not threatening somebody with nuclear annihilation or not trying to take over our economy and our culture. Does the U.S. need four enemies right now, especially one that may be unnecessary? Probably not. The Russians have their fair share of blame here, but countries throughout the world have tried to influence elections and shape public opinion. The Obama administration did it in Israel. China literally makes us all look like pikers in the scale and scope that they're doing. It's statecraft. But now Russia has become a domestic political issue, and it's got a life of its own now, where the Biden administration has to personalize the conflict and not engage in the hard intellectual work of understanding the Russian point of view and figuring out where we can work together, because there's a lot of areas where we can and should, even where differences persist. But now it looks like this has got a life of its own, and it's potentially really scary.
You know, those are great points. We got about a minute left, just under a minute. It's a lot to kind of wrap into, but you're following what's happening with this back and forth between the U.S. and Russia. Biden, announcing the sanctions yesterday, then coming out with this appearance, not really a press conference, but an address in which he once again encouraged a summit with Vladimir Putin. What's your read on that? How do you think Biden is handling this? He called for de-escalation, but is this escalating the overall situation? And do you think that summit will happen?
I don't think that the Russians take Biden seriously. There's no reason why they should. John Kerry was the architect of the Iran nuclear deal, which was an American fold. He personalized it, called President Putin a name. There's no real upside for Putin to do this. And so now Joe Biden looks kind of like the little orphan Oliver saying, "Please, sir, may I have some more?" So I doubt that this summit will take place, but you never know.
It's a great point. Yeah, we'll see, and where exactly it's going to happen at this point, that remains another question. But there were so many mixed signals just yesterday alone, as we were covering it throughout the day. Things just continue to be so fluid and changing just by the hour. In any event, John, great to have you on, man. We have to unfortunately end it there. I could go on and talk with you all day about it, and I'm sure we will again. John Jordan, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, my friend.